You telling me right now you're in your single girl era again?
Not by choice, but I respect him. It's all love.
It's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it. No.
What are you saying to me right now, Angela Simmons?
I'm saying that I'm a lover. I love love. I love relationships.
This man proclaimed that he wanted to get with Angela Simmons. This man pursued you. So you're not telling me that he ended it. Did he end the relationship?
No, it was my choice.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. It appears Angela Simmons has officially ended her relationship with Yo Gotti, following what many believe was a final straw. Reports now suggest Gotti may have crossed a serious line, allegedly getting his side partner pregnant. After years of speculation surrounding his behavior, this latest rumor has reignited public scrutiny. Despite Yo Gotti publicly pursuing Angela for years, it now seems that commitment wasn't enough to keep his actions in check. The streets are buzzing with claims that Angela found out about the pregnancy and responded by immediately cutting ties. This breakup isn't quiet either. There are whispers of a potential revenge plot brewing that could escalate the situation significantly.
I had to make a decision.
Was there heartbreak involved?
Yeah. It's hard. I feel like for me with relationships, because I get really invested and I'm in. When I'm in love, I'm in love, which means I'm staying with you.
Mm-hmm.
But
the history behind this moment goes deeper than many realize. Allegations of infidelity began circulating back in 2023. Gossip of the city initially dropped hints, suggesting that either Yo Gotti and Angela had broken up or she was getting cheated on. Sources claimed Gotti was seen in Las Vegas at the Aria Hotel with a woman many labeled as his nurse boo. At the time, Yo Gotti's team claimed the two were simply on a break, implying that no cheating occurred. But the public wasn't buying the story. Fans quickly pointed out the timing felt off, and the defense didn't match the energy of the rumors. Fast forward to now, and things have only grown more chaotic. Some sources now claim that the nurse Yo Gotti is currently involved with maybe the same woman he was reportedly connected to before his public relationship with Angela Simmons began. This new angle is raising serious questions. While the public narrative painted Angela as his sole priority, the timeline now appears significantly murkier. On the surface, it looked like Gotti had left his past behind once Angela came into the picture.
Yeah, my phone's, it didn't feel good to not do it,
Hold up. If you're still watching right now, that means you're locked in. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and join the squad. I drop content like this all the time, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Go ahead and subscribe right now.
But current developments suggest that wasn't entirely the case. What many assumed was a clean slate may have just been a calculated performance. Behind the scenes, he may have been juggling both women from the start, keeping the truth hidden behind headlines. And the drama doesn't stop there. Reports now indicate that Gotti's nurse companion is pregnant and that she's allegedly decided to keep the baby. The reaction from Angela, according to close insiders, was immediate and intense. Allegedly, she confronted Gotti in an explosive altercation and even damaged property in the heat of the moment. The betrayal hit hard, especially considering she had previously given him a second chance. After earlier allegations involving an ex-partner, Gotti had promised to change. They reconciled and soon appeared back on good terms. He even celebrated her birthday extravagantly, going above and beyond with luxury gifts that sparked attention across social media platforms. Reports claim Gotti spent close to $500,000 during that celebration. Among the high-end items were a crocodile Himalaya Kelly Birkin bag, valued at nearly $300,000, and a diamond-encrusted Himalayan watch estimated at over $100,000. Despite the lavish gestures, recent events now cast those gifts in a very different light. She was reportedly shocked when she unwrapped the luxury gifts. One insider claimed Gotti had gone all out for the occasion. According to the source, he's known for his elaborate gift-giving and wanted presents that were both rare and exclusive. From high-end designer handbags to customized diamond watches, the celebration made headlines. Yet despite the extravagant display, the relationship unraveled once again, this time under far more serious circumstances. While the lavish gestures painted a picture of deep commitment, new revelations suggest a very different story unfolding behind the scenes. Allegations of repeated infidelity, now paired with news of an alleged pregnancy, have complicated things further. What intensifies the situation is the long-standing narrative that Gotti had been pursuing Angela for years. The timeline dates back nearly a decade. In 2015, Gotti made his admiration for her public with a bold declaration in his hit single. The track, Down in the DMs, included a now iconic line referencing her name directly. He didn't hold back. In the lyrics, he announced that he had followed Angela Simmons, signaling his public interest in building a connection. That line instantly gained attention, becoming one of the song's most discussed moments. It sparked speculation about whether the lyrics were purely entertainment or part of a real-life pursuit. At the time, many observers began wondering if a response would follow. There were assumptions that something private might be unfolding behind the scenes. But any hope of a mutual connection was quickly dispelled when Angela publicly clarified the situation. She stated that, while she appreciated the mention, there was no relationship. The public admiration may have been sincere, but she made it clear they were not romantically involved. It wasn't exactly neutral back then, not by any measure. Fans remained skeptical, particularly once it became apparent that Angela and Yo Gotti had actually been engaging one-on-one behind closed doors. The speculation intensified after she invited Gotti to her F1 brand launch event. This wasn't an ordinary industry appearance. Gotti showed up in full force, paparazzi snapped photos, and the two were seen looking visibly comfortable together. Naturally, the sight of them interacting that way stirred public reaction. Social media buzzed with theories. Many interpreted the appearance as confirmation that their connection had evolved from public admiration to something more intimate. The pairing, following his musical declarations, led fans to believe they had finally transitioned from lyrics to reality. However, Angela quickly addressed the rumors and clarified the situation. She publicly stated that Gotti's presence was purely a gesture of professional support. No romantic undertone, no private relationship, just mutual respect between two individuals operating within the same public and professional circles. Still, even with her explanation, not everyone accepted the narrative. The photographs told a different story to some viewers, one of undeniable chemistry and familiarity. Many questioned whether their public appearances had concealed a more private dynamic. In later interviews, Gotti backed up Angela's statements. He openly admitted that he had made a strong effort, sending flowers, thoughtful gifts, and consistently showing admiration, but that Angela had not reciprocated on a romantic level. She remained respectful and polite, but her position was firm. There was no relationship. Despite his efforts, it became clear that the dynamic wasn't mutual in that way. Fans initially felt sympathy for Gotti, interpreting the situation as someone putting genuine effort forward only to be respectfully declined. Then the situation took an unexpected turn. It was revealed that Gotti hadn't been entirely single and available during the time he appeared to be pursuing Angela. Word got out that he had been involved with another woman behind the scenes the whole time. During a casual interview, Gotti admitted to gifting one of his baby mothers a staggering $100,000 for Valentine's Day. While he didn't explicitly say they were romantically involved, the gesture raised immediate suspicions. After all, few people drop that kind of money on someone they're no longer personally involved with, especially on a holiday centered around love and intimacy. He could have claimed it was for the children, but the timing and nature of the gift made that defense difficult to accept. That's when the public perception shifted. Sympathy for Gotti evaporated, and fans began putting together the bigger picture. Speculation took off quickly. Many assumed that Angela may have known about his ongoing relationship with the mother of his child, and even if it wasn't official, chose to protect her peace by keeping her distance. That explanation felt much more realistic than the earlier narrative that she simply wasn't interested. But just as that theory started making sense, Angela delivered a twist. Out of nowhere, she made a public announcement that shocked fans. She was engaged. Social media erupted. Nobody had any idea she was even seriously involved with someone, much less preparing to get married. She had kept the entire relationship completely private. Then, as people were still processing the engagement news, she dropped another major revelation, doubling the surprise in the most unexpected way possible. She was also pregnant with her first child. Two back-to-back revelations left the public stunned. The timeline was chaotic, and reactions poured in across social platforms. Fans were shocked at the speed and secrecy of it all. The engagement was already unexpected, but the pregnancy announcement took things to another level. Meanwhile, speculation turned toward Gotti's reaction. After years of public admiration, interviews, and lyrics aimed at building a connection, Angela had moved on and started a new chapter with someone else. The effort he had made, the bold declarations and high-profile gifts, now looked like emotional investment with no return. Although Gotti kept mostly quiet, many believe his response came through his music. In his track, Save It For Me, he appeared to reference the situation directly, with lyrics like, "Pastor named D'Angelo, I thought I had her. Man cuffed and married, I made me mad." The emotional tone was unmistakable. He followed with, "My baby mama was mad. I ain't heard from her last," revealing that he was still involved with his child's mother during that time. It painted a picture of divided loyalty and unresolved emotions, all while publicly pursuing another relationship. The contradiction raised eyebrows among listeners. Critics pointed out that while he had invested heavily in his past relationship, he was still tied to another, yet expected complete loyalty in return. That narrative didn't sit well with the public. Angela's decision to move forward made even more sense under that lens. However, just as some were celebrating her new beginnings, others began to dig deeper into her fiancé's background. What surfaced was concerning: a rap sheet reportedly containing serious charges, including legal issues related to past violent behavior. The revelations sparked widespread concern, generating headlines and prompting questions about the relationship's stability and safety. Angela remained firmly committed to her relationship. She didn't retreat or attempt to soften public concerns. Instead, she publicly defended her partner, asserting that although he had made serious mistakes in the past, he had turned over a new leaf and was committed to a better path forward. Still, rumors began circulating that her fiancé was possibly unfaithful. Whispers and alleged receipts painted a different picture, but Angela continued to stand by him. She brushed off the speculation, worked to maintain the image of unity, and tried to hold the relationship together despite the growing scrutiny. But eventually, visible cracks began to form. In 2017, she officially announced their breakup, marking the end of what had once appeared to be a serious commitment. Naturally, this news sparked renewed attention toward Yo Gotti. Many speculated that this was finally his moment. After years of very public admiration, Angela was single again. However, she didn't turn in Gotti's direction. Instead, she was briefly linked to other high-profile names, including NBA player Serge Ibaka. That relationship quickly faded, barely lasting long enough to make an impression. Still, fans remained hopeful that Angela might finally consider giving Gotti a chance. But once again, she moved on elsewhere. In 2020, Angela went public with a new relationship, this time with professional boxer Daniel Jacobs. The pattern was now unmistakable. Each new relationship underscored a harsh reality for Gotti. Angela seemed uninterested, no matter how long he waited or how hard he tried. At this point, what once felt like a romantic pursuit started resembling an ongoing saga with no end in sight. The chase had gone on for over 5 years, longer than some full academic programs, and fans began questioning whether Gotti would ever let go and move forward. Eventually, it appeared he had. Gotti entered a new relationship with a woman named Yaya Sandoval. It seemed the pursuit had finally ended. Yaya confirmed their status by posting a New Year's celebration photo with Gotti on her Instagram, signaling a new chapter in his personal life. According to court testimony, it was revealed that Gotti's brother, Juk, had allegedly placed a $100,000 bounty on young Dolph's life, effectively setting the entire tragic chain of events in motion. This allegation turned what was once considered a standard industry feud into something far more serious. Cornelius Smith, one of the defendants in the young Dolph case, claimed under oath that he and his accomplice were each promised $40,000 for carrying out the hit. But when it was over, they allegedly received only $800 each. This shocking detail intensified speculation and raised questions across both legal and public platforms. Although Yo Gotti was not directly implicated, his familial ties to Juk brought him unwanted attention. The public began to scrutinize his role, asking whether he might have known about the plot before it unfolded. If proven, even prior knowledge without participation could place him in legal jeopardy. Online discussions escalated quickly. Fans and analysts alike debated how much Gotti may have known and whether he silently approved the actions behind the scenes. The possible implications painted a very troubling picture, especially given the violent nature of the crime. More critically, this raised fresh safety concerns for those closest to him. Angela Simmons, long rumored to be romantically tied to Gotti, found herself in the eye of the storm. With social media buzzing, many urged her to prioritize her and her child's well-being. Comments flooded in warning Angela to consider her proximity to such a volatile environment. The fear wasn't only about past mistakes, it was also rooted in concern for potential retaliation from Dolph's associates. The tension remains thick, and many believe the situation could easily escalate. Despite multiple scandals, including past infidelity and public betrayal, Angela had remained loyal. But now, the stakes appeared much higher. From emotional heartbreak to real-world danger, she stood at the center of a story that kept growing darker by the day. After years of being chased, celebrated, and spoiled, she was ultimately replaced, left watching from the sidelines as Gotti began building a new life with someone else. Now the question remains, will she finally walk away, or will she continue to stay rooted in a situation with so many red flags? Let us know what you think. Will Angela finally leave, or is this chapter far from over? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive. Check out the next video, it goes even deeper.